Hi, and welcome to episode 41 of my Krastorio playthrough. I decided to load my last autosave after the incidents of the last episode, so I reset the attack on my power plant here, which I left foolishly undefended. I don't really know why I did that. I just forgot that this evening. So I went back here to this wonderful place, and we have now laser turrets. And right now, at this moment, I'm just waiting for the biters to come. So let's aggro them and let's do some... There we go. So lasers are going to be a very more reliable way to deal with the biters. And I have the necessary resources to plaster up this place with oil power up to nowhere, because I have so many oil fields tapped here, and this little array here is pretty easily replicable. So I'm really considering to put up some big old oil power plant here, especially since well, atomic power doesn't really work differently in Krastorio than it does in the vanilla game. And so, well, maybe I'm going to do a little bit of atomic power later, I don't know. But for now, I'm not that inclined to do so. Instead, I feel like pumping up my oil power even more and secure my base with more and more laser turrets, because defending my base with power alone feels like a great idea. So we research rocket fuel now, which opens up the utility tech card, which needs... there are the blue circuits I pre-produced, you see? I was actually a smart kid. Well, I knew the blue circuits would be needed at some point. There was no question about that. Not a single doubt. Okay, so I'm going to do another one of those guys here, because I really feel like I have the potential to do so. So we would need 6 refineries on 11 power plants. Okay. I'm having the refineries, but I don't have the power plants. Okay. So let's just expand this place even more. I really want to create potential here. Dude, where's my car? Did I leave it again somewhere? Oh man. It's really about time to build something like a train network. Like, seriously, where's my car? Where did I leave it this time? Nah, well, it'll show up as soon as I stop looking for it. It's the usual thing. I find things way more often as I stop looking for them. If you look too hard for things, you're sometimes having trouble, or at least that's how it works for me. Maybe you can relate. Okay, so next up on the plate are a few more of the oil power plants. So good thing I started to produce them. Yeah, so let's just duplicate that thing. I'm going to pick up a few more of the batteries and transport them over to my laser turret production. Whoa, things are dying over there. Oh man, fighters found a blind spot in my defenses there. Shame on me. But since now everything's already being dealt with, I'm going to pick up my necessary things to fortify myself down there. I totally underestimated how fierce the attacks of the biters would be at this point of the game, and I didn't defend this place well enough. So I just lost the power pole, I think, if I saw that correctly there. But we are really starting to produce more and more laser turrets here. So now I'm carrying the the batteries by hand. It's pretty old school for this state of the game, but I don't care. I want some more gun turrets, please, and I want some more grenades, please. Thanks. So looks like we're pretty close to building the next technology card array. Oh, this is looking quite fancy, don't you think? I really like this one here. Okay. Now then, I think I'm going to keep the good old gun turret for a while. There's no way that I'm going to abandon that thing anytime too soon. But we're not going to be that reliant on them anymore as the single source of damage. I think I'll be using lasers at every hard front now. So things like these. Also, I want to put up some walls here. But where's the border? Is there anything to? No. Okay. So it's just something like this to make it harder for them to enter my premises here. Okay. I want to have 2 laser turrets here as well, since I'm already carrying them with me here. But for now, I'm going to leave this place almost as it is, except for this flank here. Oops. Okay. I'm going to expand that with some laser turrets here as well, because I feel like this side is pretty vulnerable. At this point of the game, I want to avoid destroying biter nests furthermore, because this only speeds up the process of making them bigger. So from here on, I'm going to think more about what we're going to do with these guys. So I just want to stay here for a second to check out how things are working here. Yeah, well, let's provoke them. Don't want to stand here forever. Hey guys, human meat! So yeah, we are good. So we had a sudden spike of plus 21 megawatt here from these guys, but considering that I have a surplus of more than 60, that's just fine. Utility tech cards have been researched. Wonderful. Do I have more upgrades for laser technology right now? No, not really. Pity. Okay, combat robotics. I should test that out as well at some point. Okay. So hopefully this will work out as I want it to. Let's check it out. So I'm going to mirror this pretty much. Oh, I think that's too close. That should be too close. I need some room for the pipe works. So there we go. Let's grab the recipe. And from there on, it's going to be same old. But this is a very, very powerful way of producing energy. So I'll need the input input thingies. We're using this one for the input, right. So I'm going to lead another one down here. So this bad boy can be our oil supplier. So looks like the oil wants to be the long connector here. And the water, yeah, that's just working out as I hoped. Okay. I don't know. Did I aim correctly? No, I didn't. Well. So these guys are holding the line. Wonderful. So there we go. And easy like this, we have a new power plant almost set up. There we go. Next up for the output of these guys. One good thing about this, once you did that often enough, you really start to get the hang of it. And it's pretty funny because it's a little bit like driving a bicycle. After a long break, I need to think a lot about how to connect the machines here and how the plumbings work. And once I did that, again for a while, it's just all comes back. Okay, so there's the petro output for this one, and I'm out of pipes. I just will do the same array just on the other side. Yeah, well, I wonder if I'll fit in here, but I don't think. I'll just well, let's just take the tank, shall we? Yeah. Tank is not really quicker than walking by foot. I just wondered where I put my car. I had fancy things in there. So I want to put up some laser turrets on this front and on this front here, because these two are the most attacked spots on my radar. Alright, what do we need? I'll just pick up a little bit of everything here again, because I mean, I'm not needing any belts and inserters and stuff right now, but certainly later I will again. So I have a few laser turrets in my pocket there, right. So these guys, oh, let's check it out. Wow, we're already nailing them up here. So I'll just expand that by 2 more. Just like I just like felt like expanding this place, but honestly, I think we're really good here. Okay, combat robotics finished. Energy shield equipment MK2. Yeah, why not? But next up will be the question of how we're going to produce one. No, that's not what I want to. Utility tech card. Why doesn't it show up here? Ah, because they're filtered by ingredients. I see. Okay. Sometimes Helmod keeps confusing me. Alright, so we're going to need some source of low density structure, and that's going to be big. Oh my goodness. So if I use the tier 3 assembly machines, we're on 16, so it's about time to mass produce the tier 3 assembling machines as well. So as you can see, we are developing completely new needs of production here, because I certainly didn't need those in the past. But the difference between a 40 machine array and a 16 machine array is pretty obvious, isn't it? So we're going to need a lot of things. Rocket fuel as well. But, well, I think this will be quite easy overall. But apart from that, I'm not going to dive deeper into the next technology card production, because we're going to need the tier 3 assembling machines first. And these are a entirely own category of annoyance. So we're going to need speed modules for that. So after the time here, these modules, which I completely neglected during this run, start to become important. So speed modules need electronic components and electronic circuits. So chances are I'm going to produce the modules somewhere down here, or I'm going to lead the electronic component line, this one, ultimately up here, to produce these guys up here. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that in the long run. These are things I just I still try to figure that out, how to lay this out. Right now I'm trying to slow down my my expansion of the space a little bit. So we're not really needing a much space between those guys. Is really not necessary. We can just pack them up like this, no problem. I mean, I could just do them completely compact, but I don't want to do that. So it's a matter of aesthetics, not of functionality. Seriously, just want to point that one out. So 2, 4, and 5, 2, 4, and 5. So we're there. Okay. Energy shield MK2 done. Discharge defense. Let's do that. I start crossing off these technologies more and more, because I just want to get done with that, honestly. Alright, so we're going to do this. It's not that beautiful, but very effective, because it's not really denying much movement in here, but at the same time everything works out just fine. And that's why I always like to leave little blank spots in here, although they are not necessary. You can perfectly work without them. I think there's actually the possibility that you're able to do more efficient things if you're clustering them up more tightly. Okay, so big power spike should be happening now. We're now sitting on 170 megawatt, which is entirely enough in my imagination to deal with the power consumption of the laser turrets. It's also a quite nicely packed little array. We could duplicate that another time over here. That's why I bombed away the forest in advance, to just ensure that. But look at that, those worms are getting bigger and bigger. It's really concerning me. Big spitter. Oh man. We're also getting attacks here, so this is something I need to take care of immediately, because this is pretty dangerous. But I still don't have a clue where my car is sitting at. I mean, that's the tank, sure. Ah, there's the car. Okay, finally. I knew it would show up at some point. It always does in the end. So I want to do a few other things here. I'll increase my ammo production now as well, because whoa. Oh, they just ate up the radar here. And breached my line of defense here. So this the course of this series, as you can see, is getting more and more aggressive from sides of the biters. So I think it's time to defend myself more and more. So here, I don't like the thought of having a big attack in my back here. So I'm going to put up a few more turrets here. Not that much in terms of gun turrets, but some laser turrets. Best thing about laser turrets is that they only consume power when they are powered up. So you can't really do anything wrong with them as long as you have enough power to give them enough energy to burst. Pretty useful. I like that. Okay. So ramping up my ammo production should be easy enough to achieve. Because I mean, I basically have the setup here. So we have 2 yellow clips on 3 red clips. Okay. That was the ratio. So let's check. I have a input-output scenario. Where do these guys output to? These guys are not connected in any way. Okay, so I already have another extra. Wonderful. So I won't need to do anything here. I just need to set up an inserter and a box, and that's all we're going to need here. But I'll go big here. Simple reason, I want to make sure that I'm just going to keep producing ammo from here on. I'm going to limit that a little bit, of course, but well, something like this. I want to have a really big stockpile here, but not an unending one. There we go. So I'm going to stop this one here as well, because this would be counterproductive. And here we go. This is the new ammo stockpile. Alright, that's done. More and more laser turrets are arriving here. So what up next? I increased my ammo production just as I wanted to, and I'll start producing those speed modules. I mean, I already have a production of modules down here, so if I figure out how many I'll need, I can just produce them down here. So honestly, oh, thing is just how many of these assemblers. So, well, it's hard to tell. Let's compute that by a factory. Let's just say I want to do, oops, one of these guys. So I'll just want to have a rough figure. So 15, so 10 of these guys would be enough to permanently power one of these fellas here. Yeah, so whatever. Let's just do 10 more. Do 10 more of these guys here. Okay. Oh, also, I need some squeeze through place here. Okay, there we go. I'll just repeat that now. Because I keep having trouble at these points. Alright, so the speed modules need electronic components and the circuits. I can do that just right here. Do I have tier 2 assemblers right now in my pocket? No, I don't. So let's just handcraft them for a moment, and I'm going to think in the meantime how I'm going to do this. So I have these guys here. Yeah, it's going to be a quite simple measure here. Just like this. Clusters of 5. And I'm going to transport those speed modules, I guess, up there. Or do I have steel plates somewhere in my vicinity? Seriously, I have steel plates just right here. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a... I'm lacking iron. Do I have an assembly line for iron here? Well, I could do this. So I see a solution which would relay the production of the tier 3 assemblers to a completely other spot on the map, which is kind of strange, but also pretty efficient. The other... I have to decide if I want to let the speed modules run around the half the map, or just accept that the tier 1 and tier 2 assemblers are being built somewhere else. It's basically the decision I have to make. But... looks like I have to do it even like this. And something like this. All right. These would be speed modules. Maybe I'll just let them run. Oh no, oh come on. So another time I went wrong for one grid. So 1, 2, 3, there we go. Just should start dropping this belt here in the first place. That was the major mistake I did here, so that's how you avoid it. That's how you would avoid it. Alright, so let's check it out. We don't need anything special with the inserters. So some simple input-output scenario. Because the tier 3 assemblers will be such a big upgrade for my whole industry. So there we go. All right. Now then, relaying these guys over here wouldn't be that hard. One thing, though, is that I don't have a supply of red circuits up here yet. So, no. I don't really see the big benefit of producing like this. I'm going to make it like that. I'll just check out. Just like I've expected, one of these machines will be enough. So we're going to have a little bit of a pre-production chain here. Oh, the automation cores, though. Do I have access to automation cores somewhere here? Please tell me I do. There's some line that supplies us automation cores. Alright, the biters are getting destroyed here. That's good. No. Okay. So now you have it here. I've changed my decisions now 3 times, but I've came now to a final conclusion, which is I'll lead the speed modules up to the production array, and I'll handle it up there. I had these guys, but that's okay, because I just noticed how many machines I would need to build just to replicate what I have up there, and that's where I felt like it would be more trouble producing the assemblers down here compared to what I'm doing right now. But at some point, it is really important that you start asking yourself if certain logistical tasks are really necessary or not. Because as you might notice here, we're starting to get some real big old cable salad here. So always ask yourself if you think the logistic here is really necessary or not. But in this scenario, I feel like since I have the electronic components not available up here, I really didn't see any other way here. So we're going to make it like this. Oh, did I do it wrong? Yeah, I did. Okay, I need to do it like that. All right. So I'm going to do a nifty little belt down here. So for this assembling machine, alright, so I'll need red circuits. I don't have those yet. I'll need steel gear wheels. I don't have those yet, right? No, I don't. Alright. These are steel gear wheels, aren't they? Okay. So I have 3 factories producing steel gear wheels. I should be able to tap into that to use it for this factory, honestly. Shouldn't be any problem to do that. Okay, so another thing were the red circuits. So let's grab those. No, I'll need the red belt here. Or the red hood. Alright. There we go. That's settled. Alright. So 3 or 4 necessary ingredients are done. Now then, how to output these steel gear wheels? So first off, I could do it like this. And then we could do something like that and something like that. Yeah, and suddenly this problem's already solved. Alright. Awesome. There you go. No, not this one though. So let's leave these guys up here as well. And that would be settling it. Wonderful. Going to line them up like this. So basic inserters are sufficient for every single resource here. And finally, the output. It's going to be a very, very costly production in general, but it's so worth it. Because I can do so much compression with these machines. Oh, I need to power up that guy here as well. There we go. Alright. So let's witness. Here we go. Finally. Finally, tier 3 assembling machines. I still have to produce an array which produces express transport belts and these other things, but everything one task at a time. Alright. So that's done. My defenses seem to hold for the moment. I'm going to amp up the laser turret production one more time. And then I'm really happy. So, the radar is chewed down there. I need to replace that. At this point, I'm actually able to build way better machines. And it's also about time to think about replacing these belts now, just because I can. No, not only just because I can. It's the necessary preparation of upgrading my smelter arrays, because these smelter arrays won't be sufficient in the future. I can already tell. Okay. Uranium-235 is racking up quite nicely. Okay, the robot count is increasing. Actually, where are the construction robots? There. Flying robot frame. I'll need more batteries and electric engines. I produced the electric engines somewhere up there. So let's grab up a few of these thingies again. And then I'm afraid it's already about time to say goodbye. Alright, so... construction robots, we'll need electronic circuits. And the flying robot frames. I just want to check out which materials I'll need. So I really think I would want to produce flying robot frames at some spot. But, oh my goodness, that's such a complicated ground recipe to do. I'm not entirely sure if I can stomach that right now. So... where was that security breach again? It was down there, wasn't it? But for now, I want to drop and deploy a few lasers on this front here. Just to make sure. This place is holding out. Alright. So, step by step, we're expanding here. There's a pile of biters lying around here, making me quite nervous. And I forgot to connect these guys with fluid burners. Oh my goodness. Oopsie. Good thing I noticed that. This would have been another comment of shame here, but oh well. It just happens when it happens, you know. So there we go. Let's connect those boys like that. Oh, I need to connect them like this, and so wait a sec. I can do like that. Alright. Ha! Now I confused myself at least once for today. Okay, so these guys are having still some surplus capacities of burning excess oils, so we are quite safe here. Yeah, the density here is not really the same compared to my other areas here, so we're going to drop down a few more turrets just to make sure that these biters won't think that they are welcome here. This is my turf. Go find your own turf. Alright, so let's spice this up with a few more laser turrets, which will of course need power. There we go. Alright. I certainly love the stage of the game we're now getting in. I'm pretty sure that No, we're actually out of red cards. So, yeah. But these two are not producing anymore. So, let's check that out. Okay. Oh, of course, there was the radar panel. Okay, there we go. And now let's check out what's wrong with my laboratory. I really should reorganize the this one part of the array. So we're not getting enough blank tech cards in here. So blank tech cards are consisting out of iron plates and copper cables, so there's just Wow, what the hell did I build there? Okay, let's check out how well distributed this is. So I have a heavy surplus of copper cables, so they wouldn't mind if I would grab some more. So yeah, I know how I'm going to do this. So yeah, the machine there has no problem with grabbing this stuff here from this underground belt, so we're safe here. And I'll just do a new array of these guys. So what do we need here? Basic inserters won't do for the output. Yeah, let's just output with a loader. That's outputting with style. All right. Now then, let's underground belt this. Oh, they're getting more and more aggressive. Oh man, it's not looking good here overall. Okay, so now let's check out if the amount of automation blank tech cards will now be sufficient there. My power plant down there is really giving me some is making me a little bit nervous here. So let's check him out. Wait a sec. So these guys run through here, gets lit up, and one portion runs over here, and the other portion, which we're going to need, runs over here, gets wow. I think the error is happening somewhere around here. So I'll just need to mix these guys a little bit differently there. So this is the only array needing these automation cores. Okay, so I'm just going to do that differently here. Oh, come on. No. Okay, now complete chaos broke out. Alright. So we're going to have an empty belt here now. Right. So let's orient ourselves. Here's this thing. Ugh. Yeah, well, tell you what, guys, I'm too tired right now to fix this. Honestly, it's already pretty late. This episode has grown quite old. I'm going to fix this really quickly after I've regained my concentration. Feel free to drop me a comment down below. You know the drill. I hope you enjoyed your stay. We're going to fortify ourselves even more during the next episodes and get closer to the production of the utility cards. So stay tuned. We're going to get there, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.